Hello, this is Anna Laura Brown, host of the Autoimmune Rehab podcast, where we explore ideas, solutions, and helpful hints to help you in your autoimmune healing journey. We strive to transform your health and inspire hope in you so that we can help you with your emotional healing and self-care and some of your physical healing, things like diets, that kind of thing, which, you would find on any kind of podcast on autoimmune wellness. Find all the episodes with show notes at autoimmunerehab.com. And now, without any further delay, let's get started. This episode is sponsored by doTERRA Essential Oils and Wellness Products. Curious how essential oils can help you boost your immunity and help you sleep better and more? Go to annalaurabrown.com/essential-oils. Let's talk about it and request your free sample. Hello, ladies. This is Anna Laura Brown of AutoimmuneRehab.com, and welcome to the Autoimmune Rehab Podcast. Today's episode, I have something that I hope will be a little bit fun for you, and I am releasing this a little bit more than a week before Christmas. So hopefully, if you haven't yet submitted your Christmas wish lists, or, maybe you'll be lucky enough to get some Christmas money or Christmas gift cards, you may be able to go and purchase some of these things. Or if not, you can just save these things for later. But I'm calling this episode My Favorite Things for Autoimmune Healing. What I'm going to do is over the next, probably might take me 15 to 20 minutes or so, might even be a little bit less than that. I am going to share with you what I consider to be some of my favorite products and things for autoimmune healing. And you've probably already heard me mention some of these things, and some of these things maybe aren't necessarily products, and they may actually be more or less services, if you will. And some of them may also be things, even though I'm calling it autoimmune healing, I also want to make sure that I'm really clear that none of these things are guaranteed to be a cure for anything. So, there's obviously no magic bullet or magic cure for any kind of an autoimmune condition. And if you have been researching your autoimmune condition or had it long enough or been to enough doctors or listened to this podcast enough, I'm sure that you are now aware that there is no such thing as a magic bullet. So with no further ado, let me get started and start talking with you about my favorite things for autoimmune healing. So I also want to offer the caveat that these things are not in any particular order necessarily. These just happen to be a lot of my favorite things, and this just happens to be the order that I put them in. So the first one I want to talk about that you have heard me talk about before, and I actually did do a podcast episode on this, is different forms of infrared therapy, infrared light therapy, infrared saunas, all that kind of thing. And I really can't emphasize this enough. And in a lot of ways, I have to say that while it's really hard to have a favorite of your favorite things, this is probably one of them, if not the top one. And so there's different forms of course, infrared saunas and infrared lights, that kind of thing. And I, for years, had a membership and would go regularly to a place called Restore, which is a US-based franchise that has a lot of locations that offers infrared sauna therapy. And you can go to a location like that where a lot of massages and spas have them, things like that, for the infrared sauna. But obviously, if you're going to get really serious about your autoimmune healing, you're probably going to want to actually own your own infrared sauna, because you can just get in it whenever you want, and ideally every day. And so I, on Black Friday special just a few weeks ago, actually did buy an infrared sauna, and as of the date that I'm doing this recording, I just barely got it yesterday, and it's amazing. And the infrared sauna that I decided to get is from a company called TheraSage, and I will link to it in the show notes. And of course, we'll link actually in the show notes to the entire list of favorite things, and all of these favorite things will have links there that you can find them and go access them. And this is a particular portable sauna, somewhat. I do have to say, with the caveat, that even though it's marketed as a portable sauna, most of these infrared saunas, by the way, even if they're marketed as portable, they're portable because you can set it up in a room and you can move it around on your own, unlike, like the cedarwood saunas, like the one that I would go into with Restore. You can move it around to some degree, and you can pack it up technically and carry it around in like the car and stuff, as long as you have enough room in the car. But it is still fairly large. But anyhow, it's like a basically you're sitting inside a big sack / tent thing, and you have a bamboo wood, uh, should we call it I guess a mat that you put your feet on, and then you also sit on a bamboo chair, and there are infrared lights in it and other panels and things, and you turn on the settings and it heats up within about 5 to 10 minutes. And so then you want to sit in it for at least 30 minutes at one time, and you can sit in it for up to an hour. And it just really helps your body sweat out toxins, helps provide some of that infrared therapy, that kind of thing. And so I really highly recommend getting some kind of an infrared sauna. Like I said, I've only had it a couple days. I've been really impressed with this one from TheraSage. So that would be at the top of the list of ones that I would recommend. There also are blanket ones out there. There's also one called Sauna Space, which is more like a larger tent with infrared lights. And I did look into that one as well, but it was significantly more expensive. And that's the other thing, this TheraSage one, I got it on a Black Friday deal, but even without that, it's only about $1,200, which is pretty inexpensive for infrared saunas. So, it's definitely more on the less expensive side as well. So, like I said, there's lots and lots of research about infrared saunas for your health. And if you are serious about healing from your autoimmune condition, it's really something you probably need to look into. Okay, so then along with that, there also are infrared therapy lights and lamps. And like I said, I did a whole episode on this. I have some YouTube videos on it I can link below as well. And, I have been doing those daily for quite some time because I've owned an infrared lamp and a infrared light panel I've had my infrared lamp for about 2 years now. I believe I got that on a Black Friday sale about 2 years ago. And then I have had a infrared light therapy panel for about a year now. I believe I bought that last year on a Black Friday sale. So you can tell, I like to buy things to help with my autoimmune healing on Black Friday, which is pretty good time of the year. You can get good deals and discounts to do that. So anyhow, that's the infrared light and the infrared panels, infrared sauna, that kind of thing, definitely at the top of my list. Okay, then the second thing is, should be obvious to you because I have mentioned as a sponsor. Something that I'm really passionate about is educating people about essential oils, and more specifically, I use the brand doTERRA because I believe they are the best as far as their quality, their guaranteed purity, their therapeutic grade quality, that kind of thing. And if you want to have a conversation with me about essential oils, reach out, let's talk. But anyhow, there's a lot of different essential oils that you can use that can help to support you in your autoimmune healing journey. I'm not going to discuss essential oils in detail other than just to obviously include them as part of this list of favorite things for autoimmune healing. Okay, so then the next thing is something that you've probably heard of as a really strong anti-inflammatory, but this is something that seriously, once I started taking it as a supplement on a daily basis, it was literally life-changing, and that's turmeric. And, you can make things like turmeric milk, turmeric lattes, turmeric teas, things like that, which are really good. But I actually take turmeric in capsule form, and doTERRA has a turmeric capsule where half the capsule is turmeric essential oil and half of it is turmeric powder. I like to take that, but then I also like to take the Trader Joe's turmeric capsules as well because those are a little less expensive, and I need 2 a day. So typically I take 1 of each a day, and then I get, some of the essential oil and the turmeric powder in me, and have found that to be really, really beneficial, especially for my knees and my arthritis, things like that. So really highly recommend you look into making turmeric a part of your diet on a regular basis, and in fact daily if at all possible. Okay, so now let's get into some of these other things. And these next list of products that I'm going to talk about can all be found on Amazon. And so I will actually link to my Amazon favorite things list in the show notes as well so that you can access them all in one spot. So the first thing here is a brand of what's called Village Naturals Aches and Pains Muscle Mineral Bath Soak. And this is, as it applies, it's an Epsom salts with a blend of, I think, essential oils and some other things in it that is designed to specifically help you soak in the bath and get relief from some aches and pains, and have really, really found that kind of thing helpful. You can also buy plain Epsom salts and then add different essential oils and things to it to help with soaks and that kind of thing. And my favorite place to buy just plain Epsom salt is actually not Amazon, it's Walmart. Walmart actually has a really good deal and really brand that's really good, high quality and less expensive, that kind of thing. So Epsom salts, or like in this case, it's the Village Naturals Aches and Pains Muscle Mineral Bath Soak. Okay, then the next thing is infrared heat wraps. And on this particular list, I'm featuring the knee one, just because that's the one that I have used quite a bit to help me with, with my knee pain, things like that. And it's basically just an infrared heat wrap that you wrap around your knee. In this particular case, it only comes with one, so unless you want to be able to do both at once, you would have to buy two, and they're around $70. So, that can be kind of a little more on the pricey side. You may not want to own two. Personally, I still only have one, and I just rotate. I do one knee for 20 minutes, and I do the other knee for 20 minutes. And you can get like a full body infrared wrap. You can also get infrared wraps for like your shoulder, your neck area. I believe they have them for the arms and the wrists. They have them for all different parts of the body. But basically, what this does is it helps provide that infrared heat therapy directly to a specific part of your body. And you can plug it in and wear it like at work at your desk, which is what a thing that I have done with the infrared heat wrap, that kind of thing. So, way to keep that heat on your body when, you can't just be sitting in a sauna all day long. Okay, moving on, next on the list is a product that's called the Morama Life Diffuser Bracelet for Essential Oils. And this is a diffuser bracelet that lets you just put a few drops of an essential oil in the bracelet, and then you wear it, and throughout the day you can smell it, and you can, inhale those essential oils off the bracelet, that kind of thing. And there's also necklaces and things like that. And this is just one brand that I'll include in the links, but there are, multiple other kinds of brands and things. This just happens to be the one that I bought. Okay, then the next item might seem like a little bit odd that I have this on the list of items of healing from autoimmune conditions of favorite things, but it's having a Nintendo Switch and some of the different exercise programs that go with it. I found that this is one of the better and more fun ways, if you will, to motivate yourself to exercise at home without having to go to the gym. And as I'm sure you're aware, those of us with autoimmune conditions, we generally speaking need to have ways to be able to exercise at home because we can't always go to the gym or don't have the exercise or the energy to do that. And along with the Nintendo Switch, there are three main exercise products that I recommend. One is the Let's Dance, which basically there's a new edition that comes out every year. You can also pay $25 a year for the Dance Unlimited. And that's the one that I have, and I do pay for the unlimited and really like it. Then I also have the Zumba DVD or Zumba program. And then I also have the Ring Fit Adventure. And so those are the three that I recommend. I also have the Nintendo Switch Sports on my wish list for Christmas. And so hopefully, maybe I'll be getting that sometime soon and can try that out. And, it seems like that will be something that I may also add to my recommendations. Then moving on here, the next thing on my list, and this is from the Prevention Company, which is the company that publishes the magazine Prevention, is Prevention Easy Healing Stretches, Follow-Along Routines, Guided Stretching Routines to Alleviate Pain, Boost Energy, and Feel Amazing. And I found this DVD to be really great because a lot of us know that we need to stretch every day. And again, if you haven't listened to my episode with Kim Narter on stretching, you really want to go back and listen to that. And this DVD provides a way for you to walk through and do different stretching exercises and to help improve your life in that way. And the next item is something that a lot of us all know. If you have an autoimmune condition, that you really need to be tracking things like your eating, your exercise, your health and wellness, different things like this. And this is called the Clever Fox Wellness Planner, Weekly and Daily Health and Wellness Log, Food Journal and Meal Planner, Diary for Calorie Counting, Notebook for Medical Condition Tracking, that kind of thing. And so it's just an overall wellness planner and journal for tracking things. And especially if you're doing any kind of like the autoimmune paleo diet or any kind of a diet with an elimination process, you definitely have to track things and track your symptoms, things like that. And you can do it in a plain notebook, but I found having some kind of a wellness planner really works really well, and that's what this one is. Okay, so then the next thing on the list is something that you may not have ever even occurred to you. I know this didn't occur to me until believe I saw it on Instagram, or some, influencer somewhere was showing it off, and then I found it on Amazon. Is called the Jonas Classic Vegan Dairy-Free Frozen Fruit Soft Serve Maker. And what this basically does is it lets you take any kind of frozen fruit and turn it into ice cream. I personally, with this, have had the most success doing it with bananas. I tried, I think it was cherries once, or strawberries. Cherries, I think, once didn't work that well. I know I've tried strawberries, and strawberries work okay, and it does come with some recipes, but it basically is a way for you to avoid eating sugar and still get that sweet tooth by being able to uh, get, the ice cream by turning just bananas into ice cream. And believe it or not, it really tastes like ice cream. It's really amazing. Then the next thing on this list is a DVD called The 567 Broadway, a new musical workout. And this is, along the veins of having at-home exercises, is a DVD where you can dance and do workouts to Broadway musical numbers, and have found that to be really entertaining and helpful as well. Then the next thing on this list is what's called the Bent-Go Fresh Leak-Proof Bent-Go Style Lunchbox. And one of the secrets, of course, a lot of us know, to sticking with any kind of a healthy living lifestyle, and especially if you have an autoimmune condition and are limited by where you can eat out, is to take your own lunch with you to work, or anywhere that you're going out. And I found this Bento box to be a really good solution as a lunch box for being able to store, has different compartments for taking, like a sandwich or a salad, along with maybe some nuts, fruits, things like that. It definitely is leak proof. I've experienced that myself. It's really great. I've started using that when, taking a lot of my lunches to work. So I found that to be really, really helpful. And I've got a few other things on this list that aren't necessarily my absolute favorite for autoimmune healing, so I'm not really going to address those, but you can check those out. Then the next thing is what's called the Pancakes Cold Pack that sticks and stays in place. So another thing that a lot of us need to do, in addition to like the infrared heat and that kind of thing, is applying cold to different areas of pain. And the Pancakes is basically a little cold pack that's, a few inches around in diameter. I think the one that I have is around 7 inches in diameter, and you can just put it in the freezer, and you have to freeze it for a couple hours first, but then after it, has been frozen, you can just stick it to your pain area, and it will provide cold therapy to that area for, I believe, up to a couple hours. So works really, really well. Then the next product is something that I just stumbled across this on Amazon, and it wasn't really even something, it was a problem that I had, and then when I saw the product, I was like, oh, I've got to have this. It's called the Esace Lotion Applicator for back and body, and it has a long handle, and what it lets you do is apply lotions, oils, creams, other things, and it makes it so that you can reach down and be able to put it on hard to reach places, like on your back and your muscles and things like that. And especially if you're single like I am, I'm not in a relationship, so I don't have a partner or husband or anybody to rub that, in those spots on me. You can just put it on the roller, and the roller can reach it. So that's a really good thing to do. And then I just have two more items on this list, and one of them is the Workout Labs yoga cards. So these yoga cards, obviously, like it says, it has the different yoga positions, so you can just flip through the cards and create and engage in your own yoga routine. And along with that, they also do have cards for Pilates and for other kinds of exercise as well. So you can also, get those. And then last but not least is the Keto Talk Zero chocolate. And on this list, I have specifically the 70% cacao vegan dark chocolate, but they have other forms of chocolate. They do also have milk chocolates. If you don't have a milk allergy or milk sensitivity, you can have milk. But, like I said, lots of vegan options, different ones, and really highly recommend them. You can also check them out online just at chalkzero.com. And everything is sugar free. So, has, I believe xylitol is the sweetener that they use in it. But I find, just one little square to be very satisfying, and have found that I don't really need any more than that. So has been really helpful. So anyhow, this concludes the list of my favorite things for autoimmune healing. As far as things go, like I said, I would mention some services. So also, things, of course, for you to look into would be things like acupuncture, chiropractic, and massage. You could ask for gift cards or gift certificates for those things. Those are, of course, some of always my favorite things of autoimmune healing, if you will. And like I said before, I do offer free discovery sessions or consultations. So if you want to talk to me about how I can help you and, see how we could potentially work together, have a brainstorming session, please reach out. Link for that will be in the description for this podcast as well. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to learning and sharing with you soon on another episode.